Hey, business owners, are you in the middle of getting ready for your next launch and you just don't really know what the first step is to take or how to implement a structured plan to help you have a profitable product launch? This video is going to help you to do exactly just that. I have taken the time to break down our internal framework that we have used when working on product launch campaigns with companies like H&M, companies that make hundreds of thousands of dollars to hundreds of millions of dollars. And this is the exact framework that we use. I have a list of recommended tools that you can also take advantage of as well. And most importantly, it will be step by step. So that way you can pause the video at any time, implement something, come back to it and do this. This is going to be one of the best videos on the internet to help you plan a marketing campaign. So that way, for your next big launch, you will have all the success that you need with all the tools. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the video, guys. We're in the middle of any launch. This training is going to help you to make that launch profitable. So I made this complete training to teach you exactly how to do that successful launch. And then this training will cover how you can focus on getting new customers, not just remarketing to your old ones. And that is because doing it that way will eventually lead to your business plateauing. Because in order to grow your business, you can't just rely on referrals. You need a steady inflow of customers. And I'm about to show you the playbook that we use to create profitable product launches for our clients. So guys, campaigns are happening all around us every single day. When you take a drive through the city, you visit somewhere like Times Square, you look at your local bus, you visit the website. People are campaigning to us every day because they want to get us to buy in. They're doing this because they want to create trust, to share their expertise, to sell products, and to create transformation. For those of you who are wondering what this image is in front of me, this is the hero's journey. And it's a classical storytelling format that everyone uses to describe being in a state of stagnation. You're not really doing anything. For example, you may be in your job right now and you want to get out into the world, launch your business, but you're a little bit hesitant because maybe you didn't get as much support in the business at first, so you stop. You meet a mentor, you cross the threshold, and then you're excited, but then now you realize that you're getting tested. There's people that don't want to see you succeed, but you're also meeting allies on the way. Then you do a deeper dive, you do some self reflection. Maybe you go to therapy and you're now dealing with a lot of these problems. As you go through these problems, you're now realizing, like, wow, there's a lot of things to unpack. And now you have to get back into action, but you're not ready to go. After you do that, you're like, you know what? Let me get back into action. And now you get back in the game. And now you've gone from not doing anything to going through your challenges. And now you have mastered both the darkness that's inside of you and the light that you have to spread to the world. And that is ultimately what campaigns are doing. They're creating transformation in every single one of us. Now, here's the punchline, guys. If you're here, you're either in the middle of planning a campaign for your next new product launch or your next big event, and this process will help you do just that. Please implement what I share with you, because if you read this and you don't take action, it is no different than if you hadn't read it at all. This will be one of the best guides on the internet for planning a campaign because we're providing you with the entire process to help you generate leads and generate more revenue for your business. Embrace the knowledge to seize every opportunity. In today's competitive landscape, knowing how to run a campaign isn't really just beneficial, it's critical for your growth. And that is because without a clear strategic approach, your marketing efforts may go unnoticed, resulting in wasted resources, missed opportunities, and a bruised ego. So what's at stake here? Your entire business, livelihood, and your passion for your thing. A poorly executed campaign can not only lead to disappointing results, but it can also damage your brand's reputation, weaken customer trust, and hinder your business growth. People often treat campaigns as a nice to have, but they're truly a driving force for pushing the needle forward in your business. Some of you are going to say, but Jordy, what if I'm busy? I don't have the budget or not making money yet. You're not the first to have a growing business that's not kicking out cash right away. Or if you are kicking out cash, you may not have the desired budget that you want to allocate, and you certainly won't be the last. The truth is, in order to make a significant amount of money from your business, there's a significant amount of time and capital that you have to invest before you may even start to see a profit. This is simply because in the realm of marketing and promotion, you may just not know. You may know how to run your business really well and make sales and get in front of people, but you may not know how marketing can actually get you there. But here's the thing. By not taking action and making excuses, you're going to fall behind your competition, miss out on leads, and fail to capitalize on the larger amount of opportunities. A lot of people say to me, Jordy, I'm doing pretty good in business, making 250,000 a year. And then if you are one of those business owners that are at that level, I say to you, well, okay, what's the difference between 500,000 and 250 or 250 and a million? The difference is the lack of marketing that you're not doing. And the road to an unsuccessful business is paved with excuses. So we call this the master guide to planning a profitable product launch. So who am I for you guys that are new to the channel? My name is Jordi-Lakeem Foster. Then I personally wrote this presentation and I'm talking to you right now. And the reason we emphasize getting new customers is because we constantly need to grow our list of new customers, which adds to our referral base. If we solely rely on word of mouth and referrals, we eventually hit a point where we plateau. I lead a branding agency dedicated to empowering businesses by planning strategic campaigns to expand their reach and increase their lead generation. And we've created results for over 600 clients at this point in time, over 100 B2B clients in 20 different industries using our tried and true campaign planning and content creation process. So, H&M, NYU, the Brooklyn Borough President, to local brands, mortgage companies, real estate coaches, global nonprofits. These organizations make about $300 million down to $100,000 a year, and everything in between. So we've worked with a lot of people across the spectrum, and we've learned that these strategies work regardless of the size of your organization. So this document is meant to act as a guide alongside whatever Google Doc or script that you have, and nearly every question about planning a campaign will be answered in the document. In terms of tools, you're going to need a social media scheduler, and I'll have these linked below in the description for you. A CRM tool. You're gonna need domain names and Instagram and Facebook automations in order to make this campaign work. All of these tools will be linked below, and you'll be able to have access to this training as well, so you can download it. So, what is a marketing campaign, guys? Let's get to it. A campaign is a strategic effort to promote a specific product, service, or goal. It involves coordinated activities designed to reach your ideal target audience through various marketing channels. Campaigns are focused on achieving measurable outcomes like sales, email newsletter signups, pre orders, or number of leads generated. There are three main types of campaigns: product launch campaigns, lead generation, and brand awareness campaigns. A product launch campaign is planned to introduce a new product to the market to create excitement among your audience. Like any other campaign that we're going to be reviewing today, you're going to be creating and sharing different types of content to attract customers and boost sales, starting all the way from your product announcement until when it's available for purchase. The goal is to build anticipation, showcase the product's value to your target audience, and you're going to be doing this by using videos, photos, social media posts, which will drive interest first, and then you encourage people to take action, such as making a purchase or sharing it with others. Lead generation campaign is designed to attract leads, right? So those are potential customers. They haven't bought yet. And a lead is anybody who you have their contact information, they're interested in what you sell, and you're typically going to be getting leads through forums, landing pages, or signups. The goal of this type of campaign is to encourage people who are interested in your product or service to get them into your sales funnel. In a lead generation campaign, you will typically be using some sort of lead magnet. And a lead magnet is a piece of free value that you give to your target audience in exchange for their contact information. So this may be blog posts, webinars, free videos, trainings, checklists, or ebooks. This will help you to build a list of interested prospects to nurture and eventually convert them into paying customers. Below, I have a diagram here that shows you one example of this. So you can run paid ads to a lead magnet. A lead magnet will go to, this will be on a landing page. Then they'll go to a thank you page, and that thank you page will send them to a pre-recorded video, a weekly live training that you do. I actually put it here twice by mistake, so I will need to fix that later. Then there is a newsletter. They're automatically putting your newsletter once they get your lead magnet, but your newsletter is now pushing people back to each of these things as well. So the lead magnet delivery email flow is automatic. The 30-day master email flow is also automatic as well. Brand awareness campaigns. So brand awareness campaigns focus on increasing your general visibility and recognition around your brand. The goal is to build familiarity and trust with your customers so that they can think of your brand whenever they need a product or service that you offer. So these campaigns, just like the other two, are going to use social media posts, videos, influencer partnerships, and ads to spread your message and establish your brand's presence in the market. Over time, this helps to create stronger connections and drives future engagement. So there are 5 stages of a campaign that you're typically going to be going through, and I will explain what those are right now. The 5 stages are planning and strategy. So you're coming up with the ideas for your campaign, you're brainstorming what exactly is going to happen. And then you go into the creation and the design stage where you're making your lead magnets, your offer, your landing pages, your email workflows, and that's typically comes after strategy. Third is now when you execute the campaign and you launch everything out to the public. So now your videos, pictures, graphics, slides, anything that is going to promote you is now out into the public. And if you've set all of this up properly in the planning and strategy stage, now you'll be able to monitor the data flow as it's coming through your system. One of the things that a lot of people mistake is that they don't set up things to properly track all their activity. So they're kind of left in the dark and they don't really know what's going on. After you do all of this, now you evaluate, analyze, and then you keep the winners, and then you cut the losers. So that those are the 5 main stages. So now you may be wondering, all right, we're talking about what these campaigns are. We looked at the 5 stages, but why are they important? Campaigns help to drive business goals. So the real magic behind them is that they translate broader business goals into actionable and tangible steps. You may have a goal to earn 250,000 from a new product line, but the how could come in so many different forms. That's where your campaign comes in. It gives you the how. So you look at your business goals and okay, you want to earn 250,000 from a new product. That may boil down to acquire 1,000 new customers, and then that may also be translated to develop new brand partners, because you may be able to, instead of getting 1,000 new customers, you may get 100 new brand partners that give you 10 customers each. And then that, if you're selling a product for, let's say, $250, now you only need to sell that 1,000 times, and then you get to 250,000. So as opposed to you doing the lip, so this is where this kind of thinking comes into play, because now you may not need to go grab 1,000 customers for yourself. You may just need to get 100 partners that can each give you 10 customers each, selling something at $250, and then you get to your goal. So your campaign makes it real. So there's three things that you're going to be doing in any business that you run. You're going to be creating awareness, generating leads, and making sales. This trio forms a domino effect because in order to generate leads, you need awareness. In order to make sales, you need leads. In order to create awareness, you need content. So in order for you to make your machine run, you need to be creating content. It is, you cannot escape it. So now we've covered what a campaign is. We've covered why it's important to translate your business goals to tangible, actionable items. Now I'm going to show you how to create a campaign. Step one, decide what type of campaign you want. This is going to be either a lead generation campaign, a product campaign, or a brand awareness campaign. So let's say we're going to pick a product launch campaign just for the sake of this example. So let's continue. Now you want to identify the broader business goals you want your campaign to support. Some of these could include increasing revenue, expanding market share, launching a new product, enhancing customer engagement, so on and so forth. These are just examples. Now you want to make your objectives specific. Instead of saying um, increase sales, you want to say something like increase sales of product X by 20% in the next quarter. And there's a famous management quote that says, what gets measured gets managed. So if increased sales is your goal, you're not really going to be able to measure the effectiveness of it because it's too vague. And so here's an example that you guys could walk through, and you may want to pause the video at this point to do the exercise and then continue because it will really help you. But here's what we go. So you state your specific goal. You write 2 sentences. How does it align with your overall business strategy? Okay, this, if we want to launch a new product, this will help us to reach our revenue goal of $250,000. Okay, great. What results do you want from this campaign? I want to generate 1,000 leads and sell 20% of those total leads. How will you measure success? The number of leads, percentage of growth, time frame for result, etc. Then you want to ask yourself, is your goal realistic based on your resources? So your finances, software, tools, employees, your budget, and your timeline. And then very important question, how does achieving this goal contribute to your company's long-term success? Because remember, every seed that we plant in our business, it blossoms later on. Next. So, one of my favorite quotes by Steve Jobs is the ability to focus. You're going to have the urge to want to do 10 different things during your campaign. And I love this quote because he says, people think focus means saying yes to the thing that you have to focus on, but that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. Sorry about that, guys. You have to pick carefully. And I'm actually as proud of the things we haven't done as the things I have done. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. And Jordi says, doing the one thing that really drives results really well. That is what I think innovation is. So, step two, identifying your target audience. If you want to expedite this process, I will have a full masterclass for $97 that you can check out below. This will help you to speed up this process. But if not, I will also just give you that process for free. So, here are a few ways that I like to use to identify my ideal client. One, look at my best customers if you already have customers. Two, leverage your competitors' existing customers. Three, define your customers' pain points and needs. And then you create a customer persona based on all of the data that you find. So let's look at our best customers, right? The question you want to ask here is, who are your most loyal or profitable customers, and what do they have in common? So, what are their most common characteristics? Age, job, location, money they spend with you. So, this picture is going to represent your database. You're going to make a list of your top 10 customers. I recommend you do this by the amount of revenue that they paid you. Then you want to list what you like about each client. Here are a few things to start. How much did you earn from this client? For example, I have a client that I did some very small brand management and social media management for 9 months. They paid $2,000 a month. We earned $18,000 in gross profit from that one client. That would be a client that I would want to replicate. Did I did I enjoy the work experience? Absolutely, because we were able to meet on a regular basis, execute our projects, and the approval was very, very quick. Would I want to work with more people like that? Most definitely, because the lifetime gross profit of them was $2,000. So, I mean, 18,000. So if we had 10 clients that were giving us that, then that would mean we would be able to generate $180,000, just to help you think through it. So that's what that is like. Then, now, if you have no customers, you want to evaluate your desired target audience based on these factors. So here is a checklist that we use when we're creating new target audience profiles. Um, do the people that you're selling to ask these four questions? Do they need what you're selling? Do they have the money and are willing to pay? Is this group of people easy to find? And is the market for that group growing or shrinking? Those are four questions that you want to ask. You can also rank each of these out of 10. If you get a low number, so for example, this is going to be measured out of 40, based on your criteria that you're adding for each of these. If you have four groups of people that you're targeting, one of them is a 35, next one is a 25, next person is a 22. The person that's a 35 will more than likely be the client that you need to target. So this framework really helps you to think through that process. Next, this is also following the assumption that you have no customers. You want to leverage your existing competitors' customers. So chances are there's somebody doing what you do, so you can study their strategy, figure out what they're not doing to address your customers' needs, and you can go to Google, their social media profiles, review sites, and look at who your competitors are targeting. And you can ask yourself, okay, you can go there and you can visit these sites and you can look at customer complaints. You can look at the comment sections to see what customers are saying and look at the gaps that they may not be filling. And that's where you'll be able to innovate. So, you want to also research trends in your industry to understand what segments are growing and what needs they have. So, for example, one of the campaigns that I did with H&M for a store launch, they had an eco-friendly fashion line called the Pre-Loved Collection. And that Pre-Loved Collection, it was to appeal to eco-friendly fashion buyers or fashionistas. So, a simple Google search of the term top 10 trends in your industry in 2024 or whatever year you're watching this is going to help you out a lot. Here's why. They launch that because they know that people are into eco-friendly fashion, and buyers right now want to show that they are helping the environment with their fashion purposes. So these market trends are going to help you out a lot. Next, you want to identify their pain points. And here's an example. So I'm a clothing brand that sells formal wear to corporate men who work in tech, finance, and marketing, making 150,000 plus. What are the top 15 problems they face? And here you'll see their problems are, and I'll not go through the whole list, but they have problem finding high quality, well-fitting formal gear. They have limited time for in-store shopping, lack of unique style options, and they need versatile outfits for corporate events. And they have difficulty finding clothing that feels tall or athletic builds, right? So these are their problems. I'm going to show you what to do with them. What you're going to do as a start is you're going to create a buyer persona, ideal client profile, customer avatar, and you may see different terms in this, right? Um, and what this is going to do is this is going to give you a general profile for who you could market to. So Michael Carter is 38 and he's a senior marketing executive at a tech firm making 175,000. He has an MBA in marketing. He is married with two children. He's married with two children. His lifestyle is busy, fast. He frequently travels. He does networking events and corporate meetings, and he struggles to find high quality, well fitting formwear. He has limited time for in store shopping due to his schedule, and he needs formal wear that he feels that most formal wear lacks unique style options that helps him to stand out. So this profile will help you to market to your ideal clients in your campaign. Now, here is step number 3. You want to highlight how your product or service solves your clients' problems. So, remember the 3 specific features or qualities that are going to make it unique these are going to be directly related to your problems. So, the problems that I shared with you here, you're pretty much going to take these problems and then if I were to write something unique, um, our suits are ideal for men who work in tech because they show that you are a stylish, classy man who comes to work well fitted every time. Our clothing, it is versatile and it is perfect for corporate meetings, client dinners, and networking events. We cater to men that have athletic builds without sacrificing comfort. That is how, as an example, you would state your unique things. So each thing that is unique is going to be related to the problems that you solve. I hope that makes sense. So, just like we did before, you want to make a list of your customers' needs. So, I just went over this example. So, if they have formal wear and busy schedules, our suit line, our line offers suits that transitions easily from day to night events. Then you want to highlight tangible and relevant results. So, for example, if a guy that bought one of your suits did a networking event, have them send you pictures, hit them up, and then ask them how the suit was, and then you state the problem that they had, and then you put the client's testimonial there as a solution to it. This is really good when you're solving problems for people, especially with clothing. Now, the next thing that you want to do, so remember, guys, we are highlighting how your how your product or service solve the problems. So you now want to review your messaging and keep it straightforward, right? So, for instance, our wrinkle-resistant suits keep you looking sharp all day, whether you're at the office or traveling. When you look at your marketing message, you want to write it, test it by asking some friends or family how they feel about the message. If it doesn't resonate with them, rewrite it until you get it. If it does resonate, then you send it out to more people. That's just a quick rule of thumb. Then you also want to use this checklist to evaluate if it's effective. Just some questions you can ask yourself. You guys could see I love checklists. So does your message align with what your audience values the most? Are you using language that resonates directly with their lifestyle and preferences? Have you tested your message with a small segment of your target audience and gathered feedback? And does your messaging tell a relatable story that connects emotionally with your audience and solves their problems? Those things, before we move on to step number 4, will help you to really get clarity on your message. In step number 4, we're going to discuss how to choose the right marketing channels where your audience hangs out. So, where does your audience spend their time? I believe, and I found this to be very true, that casting a wide net is the equivalent of taking your money and burning it. Reason is when you say your product is for everybody, that means that you have not defined your target audience effectively. So go back to that step if you haven't done it. So now to reach your target audience effectively, you want to start by identifying where they spend the most time. And this is why identifying your target audience is most important. So this could be specific social media platforms, websites, it could be specific events, professional development groups, social clubs, sports clubs, sports venues, right? You want to focus your marketing efforts on these areas to boost engagement and connect with your audience. If you are working with pastors and you're spending time going to the strip club, it makes no sense. If you are working with women entrepreneurs and you are hanging out in all male sports clubs, there is misalignment. So, identifying your target audience really goes into every single part of your business. So, you just have to get that clear. Now, you want to match your content to each platform. So when selecting your platform, you want to match your content to the platform's strength. Instagram is ideally for visual content. Email is better suited for detailed information. And then tailoring your message to the platform ensures your content resonates. So it's not about what you want to say as much as it is what your audience is interested in. You have to keep that in mind. Next, stay within your budget and skills. If you have a budget set for $1,000, work within that budget. You're not going to get a lot for $1,000, but don't be scared when you're building your campaign and you're getting close to that budget. That is a part of the game. I also encourage all my clients to budget for more than what they anticipate. So if you're going to set a budget of $1,000, I would recommend doubling it or tripling it just so you have cash on the back end just in case anything happens. Because, like anything in life, campaigns are also not predictable. Now, for every platform you select, you also need to manage these channels effectively without overstretching your resources. So, if you are targeting middle-aged moms from about like 28 to 35, they're probably going to be spending a lot of their times consuming content on Instagram and TikTok. If your budget doesn't allow you to do multiple platforms, pick one and stick to it. That's one example of how you could think through this. Now, this ha- has to be said. You want to keep your message consistent, and your message may be, for example, if you are targeting it, like in my example before, middle-aged moms from 27 to 35 who believe that business is the way to a better future. You want to keep that message consistent on all platforms. You should not ever get into a situation where on one platform business is a better future and then on another platform businesses are bad. You have to pick something and stick with it. And the reason is that consistency, like we like to believe that we're consistent as human beings. So if we experience something that is inconsistent with what it is that we expect, we are going to repel it or be pushed away from it. Now, you also want to customize your content for each platform. So think of each platform like this. You act one way around your parents, another way around your friends, another way around your gym partners, and another way when you're at the club. In the same way, you have to make contextual content for each platform that plays to each platform's strength. This is where a social media management tool like Metricool will come into play. So you have your main content up here, then you're gonna put it into the tool and customize it for each platform, and then now from one post or piece of text, etc., you're gonna get different bits for each platform. All right. Next, you want to write persuasive messages that address your audience's needs. This is a very important step. Your message at the essence should focus on solving their problems. Both businesses, large and small, tend to make this mistake. They focus on their products, their features, and the process, and nobody really cares how long you took to make this. Ideally, what you want to show, if you're gonna emphasize how long it took to do something, you want to show your customers that you spent hours, years, or decades obsessing over a solution that fits them. The best product demos will speak directly to your clients' challenges and provide actionable ways for them to meet their needs. And this should go without saying, but you have to maintain consistency, right? I said it before, I'll say it again. McDonald's does not have the best food, but rest assured, if you go to China, Jamaica, or North Carolina, you'll see that logo, and you want to do the same thing with your message. Keep your core message consistent across all channels, but adapt the style to fit. So, next part about your branding, right? You want to ensure that your branding is consistent. So, many people, I'll pull up the graphic here, many people think a brand is just a logo. But a complete brand book is going to consist of a logo, your color palette, standard brand fonts, and this is the visual part of your brand. The intangible foundation of your brand is going to be your brand story. How did you come to be? What challenges did you go through? Why does this brand exist? The strategy. How will you get the story out to the marketplace and get people to buy in? And then your message. What is it that you're saying to push your strategy and your story to communicate your value? Most people stop at a logo. They change their colors all the time. They use different fonts. They don't have a written story. They don't have a well defined strategy. And they often go around in a loop and a loop and a loop and don't really have good, a consistent brand. So these are all the things. Like there's a lot more things that we can break these down into, but these are the pillars that I think is important for you to do. So the tangible part people could see, but the intangibles is what is the engine. Next, when you do this, now that you have your message, you know your target audience, you understand the problems and your unique solution, you want to set up your landing page. Your landing page is the place where you will send traffic to. You will want to incorporate your messaging that you worked on. You'll be using paid ads and content to send traffic to the landing page. So below is an example of sources of traffic. So paid ads on your content. This is a landing page that I have where I tell people, hey, you could implement this client attraction secret to 10x your lead generation and never worry about your next client again. And then I have a form here on the page. So you want to have a form so you could collect people's information. I'm getting name, first, last, number, email, and Instagram handle so that they could download it for free. Now, how do you create? You want to create 30 days of content. So the content we will be focusing on will be to answer frequently asked questions. These frequently asked questions can be linked directly to the problems that we outlined before. So people remember in our example, because I don't want you guys to have to scroll back. So I will just scroll back for you and I will pull it up just so that you could see it, because I want to give you guys a really quick hack to be able to make content. So right here, we have all the struggles right here. What you're going to do, you could literally plug this in a chat GPT and ask chat GPT to generate 20 frequently asked questions related to each of these problems. And then you just tell it to don't explain it. You're going to be able to get questions, and then you're going to be able to make a whole lot of content. That's going to be your quick answer. And I have a training on how to create 30 days of content. So you're going to create 30 pieces of written content, 30 graphics, and 15 videos. It's a recommendation. It's a good starting place. Once you've created 30 pieces of written content, you can start to recycle. If you create 30 graphics answering like every single question that they have in their mind, you're going to be able to recycle them a lot. And then 15 videos answering, like the videos are going to be answering multiple frequently asked questions in one. But this is a good basis that will help you to get started. And I also have a training here on how to create unlimited ideas, which you guys will have access to. Next, let's talk about the money. You're not going to do a campaign without money. So these are some of the parts of the campaign that you will have to think about budgeting for. And I've saved you guys the time. So content creation, your landing page, email campaign, automations, advertising, software tools, distribution channels, so your social media, etc. Project management. Who's managing the project? Is it going to be you? Is it going to be somebody else? Because managing a campaign, it can be done, but it's hard to manage a campaign and manage your entire business at the same time. You may want to consider help with that, or hiring a contractor to help you with that. Then for your campaign testing and optimization, right? So when you launch your campaign, sorry guys, when you launch your campaign, you want to test it and optimize it. So optimize it may mean that one headline may not work, so you write a new headline. It may mean that the graphic that you made may not work, so you test another one. And then, as I said before, you want to budget for miscellaneous tasks. So, pro tip, I always emphasize businesses do direct response marketing, which is marketing that focuses on getting clients to respond, aka filling out a form or downloading a resource. I would advise against doing brand marketing, because brand marketing is what bigger brands, they have hundreds of millions of dollars to be able to do this. For us, we need to ensure that every dollar counts. So direct response marketing will be our friend here. So here's the next part. Let's set up, how do you plan your campaign timeline? So there's like four stages here that I will cover, and I know I mentioned five stages earlier, so forgive me for contradicting it. But here I lumped up the strategy and the creation stage into one, just to give you four general stages. But in your pre-launch stage, right now we're just looking at the campaign as a whole, right? But you're still going to be going through those five stages, but here's where we are, right? So your pre-launch, that's where your planning and strategy and content creation is going to come into play. Then you are going to launch your campaign. So pre-launch and then the launch stage, right? So that's where you now select your marketing channels, put out your campaign, and then you're monitoring the launch to quickly address any issues as they arrive. Third, your post-launch monitoring. So now you're tracking the campaign performance in real time, and you're making any necessary adjustments to improve results. And then after everything is said and done, you analyze your campaign to see what went well, what didn't work so well, and what could be improved. That's the three-step framework we use to analyze a campaign. Pro tip, you want to fill in the outline that I put above by adding like specific deadlines. So, for example, right, we know that we want to, in this stage, you want to set a date for your campaign to be launched. You want to make a list of the types of videos and pictures and written stuff that you want to create. And then another pro tip is that you want to consider the best time for launching your campaign. So choose a launch date that aligns with your audience's behavior. So if you are doing a Black Friday campaign, you want to start promoting from August or September, just to bring awareness, because ads, believe it or not, are running right now. And today is September 19th of 2024. People are running ads for Black Friday as we speak. You may or may not be seeing them depending on whether or not you're in their target audience. So here is now where we are. It's time to launch. So we've covered what a campaign is, why it's important, what are the different stages, and we've covered literally step by step how to do this. Now it's time to launch. So this is a launch checklist Please modify it to your specific needs, but I'm just going to cover the bullet points. I'm not going to cover the details here, but you want to double check all your campaign elements. So your links, visuals, and assets. It is very important to coordinate with your team to confirm that everybody knows what their roles and responsibilities are. Then you want to schedule and deploy all the content, go live where simultaneously, if applicable. So your website updates, email blasts, and ads. If you can launch as many things as possible at the same time, definitely want to do that. Then you want to publicize the launch through a kickoff event, announcement, or press release. Then you want to monitor your progress. So you want to set up your CRM system, your social media management tools so that you can monitor click-through rates and engagements, etc. Then you want to compare your results to your objectives. So if your goal is to generate $250,000 and you know that you have a $250 product, you need to sell it 1,000 times. So you are going to be measuring the amount of leads generated versus how much bought and how much revenue you made versus how much the campaign goal was. And then after that, you're going to identify areas for improvement, make adjustments, and then keep communicating with your team. So the last step here, I'm going to show you guys how to measure and analyze your results. So these are some KPIs that you certainly want to think about. You want to think about your conversion rate. So this is the percentage of users who take a desired action. They signed up for a newsletter, purchased something, etc. Click-through rate. This is the ratio of users who click on a link to the number of people that view it. So if 100 people view an ad, 10 people sign up, you have a 10% click-through rate. The lead generation, that's a very simple one. You just count how many leads were generated. The customer acquisition cost, if you spend $100 in ads, you generate 20 leads. And then out of that, you generate 2 customers from it. You have a $50 customer acquisition cost. Very, very important number for you to know in your business. ROI is the amount of revenue you generated from the campaign. So, for example, those 2 clients, they each spent $1,000. If I spent $100 and it cost me $50 to get one new client, and each client gets me $1,000 each, that means that I get a $950 ROI per customer, which means that you should be spending up to at least $50 to get yourself a new client. That's one way to think about that. Then your engagement rate, so your likes, comments, and shares, and overall participation in your content. Your bounce rate, so if somebody goes to a website and they leave, they just bounced. That's a very important thing to check because high bounce rate means that your site needs to be optimized. Your cost per click, right? How much do you pay every time somebody clicks your ad? The customer lifetime value, the example I gave earlier, I had a customer that stayed with my average customer stays with me for like 9 months, and they spend about like $2,000 to $4,000 with me each month. So they make so that is about like $18,000 customer lifetime value. So this will help you to determine how valuable getting a customer is. And if you know how much it costs you to get a customer, generate a lead, like this is where the math side of your marketing really comes in. And then, of course, your social media reach. And these things are easier to track if you have a social media scheduling tool and a CRM. So I have some examples here. I will not go through these examples, but I have here a new product launch campaign, and more case studies will be added to this soon. But this brings us to the end of the video, guys, and I hope that it was very helpful. I have some testimonials here that I could share with you guys. You guys are also welcome to book a free branding consultation if this is helpful. And of course, I have links to my website and Instagram so that you could check it out. But remember what I said in the beginning, this information is not useful if you don't execute it. So My wish is that you execute on what I share so that you can get some results and plan your next marketing campaign. If you found this video helpful and you want to stay around for more tips and tutorials like this, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment on what I should make a video about next. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.